Hello and welcome to the Irish Hunting Podcast, the no bullshit podcast for the outdoor enthusiasts. If you're into hunting, fishing, fine wines and even finer foods, you've come to the right place. So pull up a chair. Hello and welcome back to the Irish Hunting Podcast. On this week's episode number 53, we will be talking all things vermin control around our gun clubs with the upcoming shooting season. We will also be giving you a roundup of news and events from around the country. And this week's Let's Talk Gear section, it's the turn of the Howa 1500 superlite. Hope you all enjoy. Anthony Grogan, how are you getting on?
How are you, Benny?
What's going on, lad?
Grant, are you recovered?
Slightly more sober than we were last year. Am I recovered? I am recovered, and I was surprised, man. I didn't even drink a whole pile, but man, I was not even hungover, just absolutely bollocks the following day.
Yeah, I was the same.
Wrecked.
Yeah, look, it was a big build up to it, a big lead up to it, and a big shift put in. So, like, look, I think the adrenaline gets the better of you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
you're running on fumes, and then you get the high, and then what goes up must come down.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, great all night though. Thanks very much to everyone that came. Super night.
Savage.
I'm gonna make a statement here. Probably, I can never remember having a nicer pint of Guinness.
There you go.
Now, roaches for the Guinness gurus and all the people that's out there that fancy themselves as these Guinness connoisseurs. Roaches, Donnelly.
Well, Big Mac seems to like them anyway.
Well, I'll tell you, man, it wouldn't matter to him. He'd drink fucking crease out, that fella. There's no two ways about it, lad.
I've a recollection, right? I think I took the first sip out of my pint, and as I put it onto the desk in front of us, I think Big Mac was already going up for a second.
Yeah, absolutely. You wouldn't be wrong there. That's the truth. And you think he's exaggerating. He
just pointed over another pint, and I'm there.
Mothers of God, lad. He's a dirty animal.
Mother.
And that's what I do laugh at when he says, "Oh, do you ever the pints on their class?" I'd say, lad, you drink shite. Like, there's no, you know what I mean? So don't tell me what to go by. It's not allowed. I do want to actually give the man a massive shout out. Dave McKeever has a massive weekend. He's actually moving into his house tomorrow.
Well done. And couldn't happen to a nicer man.
100%, man. He has had a long, hard road at that house, and I am absolutely delighted for him. So
yeah, he's a huge grafter and a serious dude as well.
Yeah, an absolute legend. So yourself, Michelle, and the two lads. Enjoy every minute of it. So
absolutely,
massive day for you
absolutely.
Tomorrow. What's going on? How are you the day after?
I was up early. Myself and George actually went up to the gun club. I had to pick up fucking pheasants at what time was I up at? I was up at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
George said he'd come with me, and I was halfway down the lane, I think, and Abba rang me and said that George was just getting up, so I had to go back and collect him, which left me late. Come on, George.
Hello, Georgie.
Yeah. So, but I got up and I had a coffee, and the head was it wasn't because all we drank. It was just late night and all that kind of tiredness, probably
broken sleep. Yeah,
and the thoughts of 50 fucking clucking pheasants there, or chucking pheasants.
Yeah.
Anyway, had to go over to Kieran and collect them, just at Painstown, collect them, throw them into the back of the Jeep, up to the gun club. And yeah, we released a few, put a few into the pen, and then drive back and meet Kieran with the crates then in
all with a bit of a shook head, and more in the humour of doing it.
Yeah. Drive back, then collect the young fella, bring him to football, and start all over again.
Jesus Christ, yeah. Not easy, man.
Look, but sure, that is the name of the gig, Good
old crack, yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I was just wrecked. Absolutely. One of those ones, kind of hits you. Like, I was up early as well. I had to drop Ross up for the car. Then I had an under 8s football match. I managed the under 8s and eating dairy myself and Glenn, another one of the lads, and we had a game at home. And lucky enough, it was supposed to be at Athlone, but we had a game then at home, so out. And yeah, that was probably the longest 40 minutes ever. But anyway, Got there anyway.
Got there in the end.
Got there in the end anyway. Home then.
Now, come here. Bone to pick. Now, the soundbite you picked, you know what I mean? You seem to have a bit of a grudge. Have you gotten over it now? Have you gotten over it that I was
just kind of like, it was just the way it was kind of like dropped on me. Do you know what I mean? It was just like, oh, I went out hunting this morning. He's like, what? Well, You've never went hunting and not told me.
I tell you what I'm going to do right now.
I just didn't want to put you under pressure. I was like, oh, so you thought about this?
I had, yeah, very nicely actually. And so the next time, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fucking plaster pictures everywhere. Yeah. And then when she does, just let everyone else know, you know, I said, oh, that's great. Thanks very much. I'm here stuck under a fucking machine here. So that makes you know what I mean? You're fucked if you do and fucked if you don't. So
yeah, true. Yeah,
you're like my other wife.
Oh my
no matter
God,
what I do, can't keep the house happy.
Can't keep the house happy, lad. I know it was just dropped on me. It was just a bombshell. You know what I mean?
I'll try to be a better husband.
It is like that. You know, like that when the wife says it, you say, "Oh, I'm heading to. Oh yeah, sure. I'm going to Galway for the weekend. Oh, are you? I'm like, yeah, why is that right? Oh, it's grand, because you never told me. Like, okay, so is it an issue? No, it's no issue, but like, you know, it would have been just nice to know.
And okay. you probably haven't told her because you want to leave the pain as minimal as possible.
No, to be honest, it might
just even enter your head.
Yeah. I'd be just like, I'm pretty sure I did tell you, but anyway, yeah. Exactly. No, it's all good now, man. It's all good. Look, once I got my deer, if I hadn't got my deer,
you see, that's the thing. I would. Here is the thing. I would have not said that about it.
That's worse.
That's not. I would have just dropped it when you did get
it. Yeah, that's worse. Come here. I might have to, now that you've met. We have to talk about this challenge. I'm nervous. Like, I literally have no idea what you're about to hit me with.
Yeah, well, look at welcome to my world, man. I get hit with this type of stuff every second week in the podcast.
Well, I know, but I'm a bit nervous now. I'm a bit nervous.
So will we do that now? What are we doing first?
Well, I think first of all, we'll have a little toast, man.
Have a little toast. Episode
53. Here's to maybe
the next two.
We don't kill each other between now and then. The Red Breast 15, lad.
Absolutely.
You won't
beat it. Cannot beat it, right, man? And well earned.
Well, cheers that to world peace, man. World peace.
Absolutely, man. The world is on fire at the minute. So
it is on fire at the minute.
Yeah, a lot of.
Seen a video earlier. Okay, one of these ones that was shared on Instagram, and it just showed something. Now, we are not a political podcast.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get too heavy about it.
No.
But I had a little bit of a look at it, and all I'll say is everyone says there's two sides to every story, which there's always two sides to every story. But I don't care whether you're Irish, English, Israeli, Palestinian, Ukraine, Russian. I don't care what you are, who you are. I've said that from day one. There is nowhere in this world where it is right to kill children.
Absolutely.
None. Absolutely fucking none. There is a special place reserved in fucking hell for people that do that.
And I'd like to probably, from my perspective, I have certain views. And funny enough, I was thinking about this during the week where, you know, oh, Jesus, you know, kind of which side are you on, you know, because that's what happens. And I kind of just decided during the week, it can't be a side because, you know, and I know there's people up waving flags for both sides, you know what I'm saying? But unless you're over there in the middle of that thing, man.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the people who are in the middle of it just want it to end. Yeah. They don't want it to happen in the first place. No. It's the people on the periphery that keeps this stuff going.
Yeah, I know.
On all wars.
Yeah.
So the ordinary, decent person in the street, they don't want fucking this.
No, man. I think when I hear like kids are involved, man, it always just, I don't know if I can't process that correctly. Yeah. I don't think it's certainly not good for me. Yeah. I like, and I'm not meant to be like, I'm not, you know, obviously I'm not fucking worried about myself. There's horrendous things going on, but I know when I'm subjected and I hear these stories, I can't process it. It stays with me, and I can't get over it at all, you know.
Yeah, and that's the you know, there's a spotlight shone obviously on recent events in terms of what had happened, and then, but I think also there needs to be two spotlights here, you know, because I think on the other side of that argument there was young kids and babies killed on the other side as well. And just because there's 50 killed over here and 10 over here, one is fucking too many. Yeah, 100%. You know what I'm saying? On either side.
Absolutely.
And I hear these numbers as if to say like, oh well, they killed 1,000 civilians, so we're entitled to retaliate, and we've almost entitled to kill 1,500. But these are not.
These are innocent.
Absolutely,
kids,
yeah.
children,
yeah.
people in fucking hospitals, man. It's like I said before, and I'm not going to go on about it, but it's like I said to you before. If you broke into my house and you killed my wife and my 2 kids, I would all kinds of fuck you up. Like, slowly as fucking possible. But I wouldn't enter my mind to go near yours.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what's fucking fundamental.
I think most normal thinking human beings. But getting back to my original point, and this is where I want to, because again, you kind of get sucked into that vacuum. I think talking about me personally here, into the vacuum of which side am I on, you know? And I just thinking the other day, like, unless even we had our own issues here in the north, and you know, unless you lived in that, unless you were in the middle of that, you will not understand that, not one bit, even in the slightest bit, you know, because you know, you don't know how certain things impact you growing up. So if you were to see your mother, your father, your brother, your sister murdered, or you know, you don't know what kind of effect that has on your mental state and so on. And then this thing goes on, and both sides utilize that to fuel the ongoing war drums on both sides, you know. I just think it just needs to fucking stop. It just needs to fucking stop. Oh, man, innocent fucking kids blowing up hospitals, going in and absolutely massacring people lying in hospital beds, crashes. But it's fucking sick. It's fucking completely. Music festivals, and then like it just it's horrendous. It's like it's just horrendous stuff that's going on, and we've half the world on fire here, you know.
We've 100%.
Fucking North Korea ready to rock and roll over there. You've China kind of on tender hooks. You've the Russia and Ukraine still tipping on.
Honest to God. I just thought earlier on, I was talking to actually my own father-in-law, and he took the words out of my mouth, and I genuinely had this thought was been rolling over my head. And I thought I was maybe the only one that thought like this. And he said the exact same thing to me. When I was growing up, it's kind of a sad part of being an adult, I suppose. When I was growing up and I used to see, like, there was wars going on when we were in, you know, the 90s and stuff. There was fighting going on in the Middle East and different things. And I always when I grew up, I always believed that if a war broke out in the morning where people like back to like the World War II when the Nazis were at the Jews, I always believed that wouldn't happen anymore because the superpowers of the likes of America and Europe would just step in with their massive military power and stop it.
Yeah.
And I think it's sad reality growing up, and then you realise that that's not the case.
No, it's on the back of it. Look, it gets back down to euros and dollars, you know, and that's unfortunately that's what it comes down to.
Yeah,
whether we all agree with it or don't. I remember, you know, when you remember the old army sets, you know, you'd have the in the early days, you had the probably before your time, you had the Vietnamese and the Americans. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
and then you had you know the Germans and they used to play these army, you know, you'd have the tanks all set up in the little plastic barbed wire fences and the X's, you know, and you'd always pick a side, you know, as you say, and you predominantly pick the good guys, you know, the Americans were always on the side of and I'm not so sure, man. I'm not saying, but I just think that there can't be what needs to happen is they need to be the facilitator, not the backer, you know. And that's because what happens is they back one side and then inevitably then Russia comes in and backs the other side, or vice versa. So I just think there's no winner there.
No.
And all the while, and the worrying part for me, man, I'm looking at it on Facebook, I'm looking at it on Instagram and TikTok and all that, and you've these people saying, oh, fucking send them all home, there's no room for them here and all. I'm sort of thinking, man, like, are we really gone that disenfranchised from fucking humanity that you can, like, I hear people saying, oh, they're only coming over here for the you know, for what they can get. There's no person who wants to come over and leave their home, fucking travel 1,000 miles, and probably leave some of their family behind and sleep in a fucking tent for the winter, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, put a bit of perspective on it, you know what I mean? And I think a little bit of compassion has to come back into it, you know? You will always get people jumping on the bandwagon and trying to do the freeloading thing, but most people, man, it's just about self-preservation. Just trying to survive, you know?
Yeah. Look at 100%. And there's two sides to it. I would probably think of it maybe slightly different than you in certain ways.
That's your entitled.
I would just, and I'm not saying that we should be closing our borders or anything like that, but I just think we have to kind of, has to be a certain element of, like, you have to look after your own first. Like you know, we have one of the big worst homeless epidemics in recent fucking times, or probably in the history, and like there's billions been spent on housing Ukrainian families, and I'm not against that either. Like I'm honestly not, but I think you have to like look, like, we have a health system here, man, that's fucked, absolutely fucked.
Yeah,
you have people on, like, all you have to do is look at some of the waiting lists on times now. It's absolutely horrendous.
Yeah,
and like over a massive lack of funding, they can't get fucking hospital staff anymore. No one wants to fucking work in the hospitals.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Untethered and Wanderwise, where adventure has no age limit. We're your co-host, Heidi Brandist and Nikki Amahundro, and we're here to inspire and celebrate women over 45 who are embracing their independence and want to explore the world on their own terms.
Yeah. Look, there's two sides of that. I think I know a guy in the hospital who I was getting in, you know, and this is kind of sums up my kind of, you know, and I remember in the cutbacks, you know, he was fairly way up. He was over, you know, the some part of the catering, right? And they were cutting back, so they were cutting his staff, like, so his sous chefs or his you know, cleaners, you know, they were cutting him. And he said he remembers distinctly one day, this was after the crash, you know, 6 guys come in with briefcases and laptops and shirt and ties, and they come up to him for a meeting, and he's one guy, you know, and they said to him, like, we need to make cutbacks, where can we, you know, we're talking about cutbacks. And he said, do you see that guy over there? He does all the potatoes. Now, you're not talking about fucking 10 potatoes. You're talking about,
Yeah.
so he does the, you know, the vegetables, and he does the meat. He does the, you know, and he says, you know, if one of them goes, one part of us. And I said, no, we have to find this. And he was just looking, and he's just saying, 6 yous are coming down here telling me, said, like, I'm working out on my skin here.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like the top heaviness, there's paralysis by analysis, and same with the with the homeless thing, man. It's I'm in the game, you know, where construction is. I left school to follow a trade because I wasn't academic, and they're trying to drive it towards more paper, like, without. That's my full-time job now. All day, every day, me and my wife sit in the office and drew reams and reams of paperwork. And it's putting extra litigation, extra cost on top of costs, and the small developer is seen as a nuisance. The small guy, in all business, the corner shop, the small farmer is seen as a nuisance. You know, you don't want to, you know. So we've created, unfortunately, and we have to take some responsibility for us here, because we all passed the corner shop and headed for Tesco's because the milk is 20 cents cheaper, you know.
Yeah.
And then give out then we don't have the convenience store in the corner, or so and I think all that funnels into a vicious circle. Look, I just think I'd have a very simple look at it. I think if somebody's in a bad way and somebody needs fucking help, I think you should give it and worry about the fucking consequence later, man. That's just in an emergency situation. I think, you know, you see it down in Cork at the minute, people fucked out their houses for floods and stuff. You know, if you're down there, I'm sure there's people taking in people, you know, and that's what you do in an emergency situation. And look, at obviously it can't just go on indefinitely. I understand that, but I still think we, of all nations in the world, should understand it as, you know, we're dispersed everywhere. You know?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, 100%. For me, to be honest with you, I'd be well and truly open up to, like, you know, you have to help out. Like, I think we are probably one of the more generous nations in the world.
Yeah.
But what I don't agree with is, if I want to go anywhere in any country, anywhere in the world, despite my refugee status, I have to have. They have to know my background. It's as simple as that. If I lived in Australia, like, the fucking process you have to go through there, and if you don't meet the criteria, out you fucking go.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're bringing in a couple of thousand refugees from any country, and I'm certainly not anti-refugee, but you need to be aware of like there's other, not as Ukraine aside, there's other refugees and stuff coming in, and the question I would have there is, well, what's their, not religious beliefs, but how do they look at the world? What is their beliefs versus ours? If they're going to live in Ireland, with our beliefs, how would they? Do they? I'm not saying that they have to say.
Here's a question for you, just on that. Then, were you questioning your beliefs going into Australia?
How do you say that again?
Were you questioning your beliefs going into Australia? Like, were you, like, I know you had a clean guard of vet. Mm-hmm. But do you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
100%.
I know, I get the point. There's cultural differences, and you're trying to obviously, in an ideal situation, you integrate people into different cultures.
Well, I'll give you an example, right? So, say if I was Roderick O'Gorman, and I was agreeing to bring 3,000 refugees into the country from anywhere. Never mind, the place is not important. Any type of refugees. Yeah. I would turn around and the first thing I would say to him is, now, lads, you have to understand, and ladies, we live in a society here in Ireland where males and females are held in the same regard.
Absolutely.
There is no preference.
Absolutely.
Do you believe in that? I.e., do you believe that either a male or a female is classed as second class? And if they say, yes, we do, you'd say, out the fuck you go. Because we don't tolerate that here. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Now, that is common practice in certain parts of the world.
Yeah. Look, I think in some of the parts of the countries that we're talking about there, of the world, on the flip side of that, if you don't abide by, if, like, drinking and stuff like that, certain, which is fair game. I understand. You have to adopt the rules, the laws of the laws of the country.
Yeah.
Culturally, I think. I just think it's almost ironic when, say, we're living in this globalized, everyone's jet setting all around the world, and then I hear like statements like, and I'm not saying you're confirmed with these, I'm just saying I hear these statements, where people are saying, oh, like, there's diseases being spread here, and then there's, the virus that was, and then. There was another one, and then there's these are not families; they're all soldiers coming over. And there's all this kind of fan the flames type stuff, and like I just think there's those people. I think sometimes the lunatics are in charge of the asylum. Like, you're listening to all this stuff on because they're shouting and they're up there protesting and they're saying, like, that 3 bus loads of under 25 came in, and then you find out, well, that wasn't really correct. It was, they came in different. You know what I'm saying? Or that was a video from London back 6 years ago. Do you know this type of stuff?
Yeah.
So yeah, I just think there's perspective needed. I just think that they absolutely. Do they have to abide by laws, and do they have to be vetted? Absolutely. I think there should be, and there should be a system where, if you don't abide, then you go out. Absolutely. That's. But I definitely think, though, that's a problem for the Irish government. It's not a problem that should be directed towards. If I'm a refugee and I want to get the fuck out of my country because of some fucker dropping a bomb on I ain't worried about where I'm going. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about, and if they let me in without guard of vetting, I will take that all day fucking long.
Yeah.
That's the responsibility of the government and of the policing side.
Yeah.
And I just don't think that hate should be kind of
absolutely
directed towards them people.
No, I totally agree with you. Absolutely. And as if I have a bone to pick with anyone, it's not in any refugees, it's the Irish government.
It's the government. No, I agree. There should be parameters set. But look, we ain't going to change it, man. And I just fucking hope some common sense. Christmas is on the door, and in the, especially in the Holy Land, or whatever you want to call it, Gaza, Palestine, Israel, melding of all. I hope somebody sees sense somewhere and say, look, fucking stop this, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I just feel for the kids, and I feel for the innocent people. That's let battle out on the fucking fields between two armies. Yeah. Not in hospitals and not in crashes and not in people's homes,
Yeah, agreed, man.
Shin, man. Let's get on to some hunting. That took a bit of a heavy turn there, didn't it?
Yeah, look, we'll get on to some. This is supposed to be a fun podcast.
Yeah.
We're doing a little bit of news,
man.
are we?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, do you want to kick it off?
Where will I?
The ICTSA, maybe?
Yeah, we'll start at that one. That's a bit of nice. So the ICTSA, the Irish Clay Target Shooting Association, welcome all to shoot the John Wickham Memorial All-Rounder at the National Shooting Ground, Esker, on Sunday, 29th of October, which is the Sunday after next, I think. This 100 target competition consists of 25 down the line, 25 automatic ball trap, 25 skeet, and 25 sporting. And it's they invite non-members to enter and come to try different registered disciplines with a subsidised entry fee of €30 for non-members. Like, Jesus, for a day's shooting, lads. Non-members must hold their own firearms licence, insurance, and present this at the ground. Non-member entries cannot win the places or prize monies, and members of affiliated associations must enter as affiliated member in order to place. So yeah, that's deadly. And I think Ross and Rob have entered both me and you into their target shooting competition last Friday. Were you on? Yeah,
I never heard a word about this.
Well, that's
this is another exclusive.
Big Easy got into Robert's ear there, and the two of them were talking all kinds of ballistics and distance and clays. And
there's a big difference there. Rob knows what he's talking about.
Well, the big Easy knows a bit now. He knows a bit, and you better hope he does, because there's big money on this fucking thing.
Is there? Holy, I hope he's footing the fucking bill, man.
I seen him turning a couple of 50s there. And, there's a wager down. So
what's he planning on using for this target shooting?
Stones, is it?
No, well, I hope it's not that 243 years old.
I don't know whether it's clays now or plates, but I think they're talking about clays.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm fucked.
Yeah, same as that, man.
Yeah, so yeah, that should be interesting.
My rifle's nice and big, so I'm hoping that as it comes out of the trap, I can hit with the butt of the gun.
yeah, I'd have a better chance, man. I'd have a better chance. Holy Jesus. Super stuff. Irish Clay Target Shooting Association. Super stuff, man.
Good stuff.
That's a good little day out. Inland Fisheries Ireland had a post up on their Facebook page during the week. This was sent in to us by the Bowl George Burdess. And it just states that the IFI welcomes fine against Ishka Éireann for pollution incident. There's 160 fish died in County Cavan. Levels of ammonia 30 times higher than expected in good salmon and trout waters. They got a nice little fine of €4,000 plus costs and expenses. So it's good to see. I think people being proactive in you know.
That's not the first time. That's not the first time that's happened. I think
ammonia is like urine and stuff. Is that? I know you get ammonia from
ammonia from the gas is given off from
okay
from the bowel stuff, you know.
Okay okay. So there you go.
Well, it's also known as smelling salt. So if anyone's feeling need a bit of pep in their step,
yeah.
Don't go down and take a whiff of that.
no, holy shit, right? So yeah, look at that's just another one up on the old Fisheries Island page.
And then if you go on to Irish Shooting Sports, IE, the big night is back after 2-year absence. The only demo night in Ireland with all the main brands being represented. So this, if you are interested in thermal or night vision, go down to this. It's Wednesday, October the 25th. That's next Wednesday 2023.
Yeah.
Between 7 and 9. It's down in Knocknagaushel.
County Kerry.
I don't have enough level of bogman in my accents.
No, you need
so
that.
It's down in County Kerry. Info at irishshootingsports.ie. All the Pulsar, Infrared, Zeiss, Lemke, and Lemke
are all in it.
They're all in it. And look, that's a good. So then you've all different price brackets, all different brands, and all different. So you can have a look through one, have a look through the other, and say, that's the one for me. So look, it's a big investment, and if somebody's thinking about it, I think it'd be worth it while getting down there for the trip.
It's a savage opportunity to actually go down and test it, because I think when you go into a shop during the day,
Yeah.
and you see like, you know, a $3,000 piece of thermal gear, like, cheers, I wouldn't be handing over $3,000, but I tested,
Yeah.
and I was happy with it.
Yeah.
So that is your perfect opportunity to get down. And I think there is a couple of other ones, maybe not with all the brands in it. They are going to be on in some of the more local gun shops in the next couple of weeks as well. So
Yeah.
if you're not down there, you'll get a chance somewhere closer to home.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Do
Absolutely.
you know what I mean? Sinead, we're going to jump in and talk a bit more about vermin and trapping and all that sort of good stuff. But lay it on me first. Come on, what is this challenge? Because
I see your buzzy money. He's there. He's like I was going to say you're like an altar boy, but that's that's good.
I don't want to get you too excited there.
No, but he's there. Is there? No, obviously with we have the 24-hour challenge coming up, and
Yes.
we're going to be talking about more because we're actually starting to put the framework around that now.
Yeah.
And we have the whole. I sent you the cartoon that you never.
Never heard of. Not in my time. Did you
Captain
watch
Planet.
Wanderly Wagon? Is that around it? Was that? Did you?
I
Was
did,
that,
yeah.
That no, genuinely, I'm not being
Yeah, it
smart.
was
Was
the tail end. Yeah, the tail end.
Yeah, I've never heard. I'm going to listen. I'm not joking. I remember my man and dad talking about it. That's a fact.
And do you remember the little puppets? Was it Sooty and the other? No.
No, man. Power Rangers. When I was growing up.
Jeez, that was
Yeah.
high tech stuff.
Power Rangers.
Captain
and-
Caveman, Scooby Doo, and
yeah, Scooby Doo was there, all right. Yeah, but sure, he's still there. Who else was there? Pinky and the Brain. Remember them?
The
Pinky and
Animaniacs.
Animaniacs. I used to love Catch the Pigeon. Remember that one? Catch the Pigeon.
Yeah,
Was that it? I used
Yeah.
to love that one. That was interesting.
Well, like Captain Planet was out that time.
No,
He fucking was, man.
never heard of it. You probably had Sky back then. We didn't have Sky.
I did in my arse, man. There was sitting watch. I remember watching Coming Home, right? And I remember when Network 2 started,
Yeah.
and and it was on. I think it used to come on at a certain time of the day, and you sit there, and it had the round thing with all the different colours in it, and next thing, beep. Next thing, come on. Yeah,
No way.
yeah.
Are you serious?
Program start at 2:00 or something. You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
There you go.
Black and white telly.
I remember the black and white telly. No,
Do
yeah,
you?
yeah.
Did you have one?
My father had, yeah, he did, and I remember the first colour television that he brought home as well. It was a big, I think it's a Ferguson, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh my god.
The big old box on it, yeah.
Tractor.
I remember my father back in the day, man. He was ahead of his time. He was going to get the channels from across the water,
Yes.
which involved
And a Jesus aerial, as we'd say.
Cheers area there. So if you can imagine, right, he had a wire running in through the door, and I had this thing plugged in. Plugged to be an understatement. I had it held in because the old connection wasn't great in the back of it. He said, "Now hold that, and don't let it come out of that, And so I'd be there like glued to the back of the television, ensuring the yoke was held in properly, right?
Yeah.
While he was outside
Showing it.
right, no, any sign of that there, right? And I'd be there, right? Now, if anyone's looking, I'd be there dipping to the front of the television, and then moving the back of it. No, and then I used to hate saying no, there's nothing. So to give him a glimmer of hope every now and again, and this is, I don't think he listens, but if he does listen, he'll find out every now and again. Oh, I think so. And there wasn't a bean of that.
No, yeah. Just so he'd stop giving out.
Yeah, we
like,
just give him a
fuck.
bit of hope, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%. Isn't it weird the way you do that?
I know, yeah.
Kid,
Sure.
man?
I kept saying no. And I said, oh, jeez, man. He's going to go ballistic.
Oh, something happened there. Oh, that's gonna get. Oh, jeez.
And me there picking my nose.
Man, it's the weirdest stuff you remember. My father's actually is something very similar, and he doesn't listen to the podcast either. But he said we'd be working on diggers and stuff, and he'd be sledging out pins and the pins would be what they had that hope of coming out and a bad old set of gas if you had gas. And I'd have to hold the drift, and he's a hardy fucker. He'd be swinging this sledge and bang.
Will you hold it still?
Yeah. And the shock would be coming through his hands, and he'd be back, and you could see the vein of thickness coming out of him. And then he'd turn around and he'd say, and then I'd be betting. I'd say, oh, jeez, yeah, she's going a bit there now. Is it? Yeah, I'll have to move it. I wouldn't have moved a millimetre. I think it's going. And I'm not a hope it's going.
And then he looked, that hasn't got a fucking centimetre.
Yeah. I just I don't know. I'd have to try something better. Yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah. Oh,
them were the days.
Them were the days, man. Them were the days.
But yeah,
yeah.
getting back to the challenge. So, what I'm going to do, November, we've obviously, look, mental health awareness month is back, but we've always wanted to do and something for that. So what we're going to do is, and I think we should get people to come along with us, right? So this is there's two prongs to this now.
We're doing it. Like, no, I haven't ran it by me. I haven't agreed.
No,
to it,
you have to now.
Anyway. All right.
Man, how many things have you sprung on me?
Right,
This is the one thing.
Okay.
It's only 7 days.
7 days, man.
Seven mornings.
Oh man.
7 mornings, right?
Oh, okay.
So, right, it's the ice tub challenge.
Ah, fuck's sake, lad. Ah, jeez.
And it's from the first week in November. So we let the pheasant season get over, right? And the following week, so the first Monday in November, right? Ice tub challenge.
Are you serious?
3 minutes.
Now? Lad.
3 minutes. 3 minutes out of your life, lad.
Shoot your mouth.
Now you have to take a picture in the tub.
You're doing this the whole time, you bollocks.
Because I know you, man, now, right? No. You're an engineer now, and you know what engineers do? Yeah, they find ways not to do shit or blame other people. You'll tell me at the end of it, I had a cold shower every morning there. It's the same thing.
No, I'm actually thinking of ways. Yeah.
So you can use a mortar bin, a nice tub. You can get. So if you're out there, there's good benefits to this, right? We're going to do for mental awareness. Obviously, Movember, etc. Now, look at. Nobody will notice if I shave mine.
No,
I mean,
a wet dishcloth.
But look at say la vie. So this is what we'll do. That's what we're going to do. So it's just 7 mornings. It's 3 minutes. The benefit of this, man, right?
Right.
The dopamine levels exceed that by I don't know. I think it's 26 or 30 times of cocaine. So you're going off to work there.
I've never done cocaine, so I don't.
Well,
even,
look at you're going to get the high of your life.
Well, like. Do you know how I was actually hoping you were kind of going to say, right, for 7 mornings you have to do 5k every morning. That'd be grand. Like, I could deal with that.
That's fucking 25 minutes.
Mothers of Jesus, man. Ice tub. Okay. Right. We're going to do it. We'll do it.
We are doing it.
So have we to go live with this when we're doing it, or do we just...
You do a little live video, just the head sticking out of the water, that's all.
Okay. And just a bag of ice in the morning, chuck it in.
Yeah, you can use the same water. I use the same water and just dunk in. It should be nice and cold by then anyway.
Oh, by the Lord, yes, man. I cannot believe this, man. This is shocking. Oh, boys.
So now, if anyone wants to tune in, you'll see Brenny in the white fronts.
Are you doing this as well, obviously?
Oh no, this is only for you. No, I will. I'll do it as well. Because my young lad, I'm going to get him to do. Dylan, if you're listening, you're doing this as well. He actually he has a little inflatable ice tub thing.
Did you get one?
Yeah.
Where do you get them?
I can get them on Amazon.
I may get one.
Yeah, it's only 30 quid or something.
Oh yeah, I may get one.
But yeah, they're like just he has the plastic one, like the
yeah.
Things,
yeah.
Just dunk in.
Oh Jesus Christ! I wasn't expecting.
Sure, you're
that.
also to have a 5-gallon drum or 25-gallon drum over there.
Yeah. No, lad, not a hope. Full of mortar
bit of grease or something.
And blue tank. God, Jesus Christ. No, thanks. No, I just get the proper yolk. I was actually thinking all day. I was like, wonder what will this be now? I was like, I bet you he wants me to eat beans on toast, cold beans.
No, Jay, I wouldn't do that to you.
No,
that'd be too nice.
God forbid. God forbid.
Speaking of which, it came late. So for our fishing last Friday, I had bought a little thing on Amazon. I had it years ago. And me and Avril, we started off before we got married. We started camping. That was our holiday for fucking years. And so we load everything into the back of the car. And I used to have this little camping stove, and I'll show you, right? It's for toast and bread. With the little gauze on the bottom.
I know the exact joke you're talking about.
Isn't it just the best thing in the world?
It is, absolutely. And then you fuck it up by putting cold beans on it, man.
But I came home last Friday night from the pub.
On the gas.
Straight onto the gas stove in the kitchen.
We don't endorse that. Maybe don't do that. But anyway, yeah.
Just the same fucking job.
Yeah.
And one side of toast. Oh, you can't beat it, man.
One side, yeah. I love toast and the barbecue. Love it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I never had it off the barbecue. I don't. Oh well, I did. Yeah, I did have it off the barbecue. Yeah, we used to barbecue.
Yeah.
But that little gauze thing, man. What a little
savage.
It's about £6.
I know the yolks.
But do you know where we stand there in the morning waiting for a slice of toast to toast and toaster? Like, will you hurry on? This thing.
I often thought about getting one of those yolks. You know the yolks you see in the hotel with the little fucking conveyor belt.
Yes.
You throw it
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
they're a
Yeah.
cool little yolk, aren't
They're
they?
a cool little yolk. Yeah.
Bit of overkill for two
It's a slice of toast, maybe. Yeah. By the time that yolk heats up and the electricity meter touches his breath.
Honest of okay.
But so that's our challenge.
That's the challenge. So are we going to ask other people to want to get involved in it?
Absolutely.
As well?
I think what we should do is everyone should just send a little picture, just for, and this is, and look, it's open to the ladies as well.
Okay.
But it's for mental health awareness. And just, I think from the hunting community, this will be our kind of push towards it.
Well, I don't. I'm going. I'm naming out people. I don't give a fuck.
Big Easy now.
Big Easy's doing it. Big Mac is doing it. Christy Malay, I don't want any fucking shit with you. You're doing it. Rob Tracy, yeah. Okay, I don't give a freeze that little mustache in your face.
he'll have icicles coming off that thing.
Yeah. You're doing it. It's as simple as that.
Simple as that. Yeah.
Noel Swan,
you're doing it. Yeah.
100% you're doing it.
Anyone's been on this fucking podcast. Stevie White.
Burdess. Don't even think about
you
that.
Go.
You are doing it.
Do you know what the minute I said it to Burdess the other day, right? Mm-hmm. Do you know what he was? I was thinking about a challenge maybe for, shaving the mustache. But you can shave the mustache as well.
Yeah, exactly,
right?
Man.
But you're jumping in that tub.
Shave your legs, man. I don't care. You're getting in that tub. 110%.
So yeah. So we want to see a little... so get behind this. I think we'll give it a bit of a drive.
This is a savage little thing. We might even do a thing. There will be other charities. Make a little donation to one of the November charities there.
It can be small. 2, 3, €5.
Put up a little picture of it and then a picture of you in the tub. And
drive it.
And you know something? I'm honestly, it's something I've often said I'd love to do. I watch Joe Rogan. I see the benefits of it. I'd love to do it. I'm going to start doing it, man.
There you go, man. It's brilliant. You'll get your day off to a great start.
Honest to God. You'll be awake anyway. That's for certain.
Absolutely. It doesn't matter, rain, hail or snow, jump in, 3 minutes, in, out.
Now, I don't mind do 3 minutes, I'm going to be honest with you. You don't have to, the podcast that you don't have to do it, but aim for 3 minutes.
Aim for 3 minutes,
minutes.
Look, by the end of the week, you should be up to 3 minutes, yeah?
Would you, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
I think, now, I'll clarify that, but I think the 3 minute is the optimum for the dopamine levels, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So we want everyone to get into work with a bit of pep in their step.
I like that, man. That's a savage idea.
There you go.
Good on you, man. I'm actually kind of looking forward to this now.
There you go.
So it's only a week away. It's only a little bit over a week away.
Absolutely. So we don't have too much time to think about it.
No, just go and do it, man.
Go and do it.
I like it. Deadly. Let's do it, man.
There we go.
Sounds like a fucking plan. Come here. Let's get into it. We've been waffling there now for 40 minutes.
Have we have? Vermin, yeah.
Bastards.
Yeah, man. Look, we've both have this issue in our clubs. So ranging, me and you both do a lot of fox control, and we've talked about fox in good detail. There's that, and then there's the peripheral stuff, the mags, the greys, the grey squirrels, and then the mink, which is probably the one that goes under the radar a good bit in a lot of places.
Well, like, I suppose you can't class as vermin, but pine martins are doing untold damage. We can't kill them, but we can certainly up our game around our pens to try and prevent the little fuckers from getting in, you know? Yeah,
look, it's going to get to a stage. I can't see why, if there's a problematic pine martin around a pheasant pen, that you can't control it. I don't understand. I make no mistake about it. Like, if something's not done about them pretty soon, they're going to be a huge problem. Like,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can't see why you can't trap them, humanely and move them. Do you know what I mean? If you're rearing game birds, you're rearing a couple of hundred game birds in an area, you're feeding them, you're looking after the welfare of them, and you're going to release them, and you're going to up the numbers. You know, I think if there's a pine martin there that's wiping out 30 game birds or 50 game birds or whatever, I don't see why you can't trap them, move them to a different location. Like, if you bring them to a farm down the road, put them out in a forestry. I don't see the issue. I honestly don't see the issue. Maybe there's something I don't know. I suppose.
And look, on that point, I think we need to be pushing for a better solution than that.
Yeah.
I think if a farmer is looking after sheep and a dog wanders in, you that farmer's entitled to shoot that dog.
Yeah.
You know, and the courts will back him. I can't understand it how we are not being backed in this situation where and I have a personal opinion. I know. On all the forums and all the clubs, the buzzard has been, mooted as the problem. I genuinely think the pine marten is more of a problem than the buzzard, man.
I would agree with you.
Yeah.
Purely down to the fact, like one pine marten can absolutely decimate a whole
Yeah.
pen in one night, whereas a buzzard will pick them off. He's not going to go in, murder 30 of them
Yeah.
and fuck off, you know?
And I've yet to see a buzzard taking a live pheasant, man.
I have seen it.
You've seen it?
I've seen him taking a hen, yeah.
Yeah.
I have.
No, I have seen a grey crow on a hen's back.
Yeah.
So that was fucking...
That'll tell
I'm
you,
not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying it's not as... I don't think it's as prevalent as people say it is.
No.
Right?
You're probably... I'd say you're right there, you know?
Yeah, and I think... Like, because they're predominantly... I was talking to a good friend of mine who's he's bird fanatical. He knows all birds. He's not anti-hunting by any means, but he was saying, like, buzzards predominantly feed on, you know, carn meat, and, you know, meat that's, you know, roadkill, you know, they're a clean-up kind of an animal, predominantly.
Yeah,
you know, they're not...
yeah.
They're not...
That's why you always see them lined up on the motorways in Vermin, don't you?
Yeah.
They're
They're kind of they expend a lot of energy, and so they're not hugely predatorial. You know, in terms of the bigger, they'll pick up, but you know, a lot of other vermin as well, mice and rats and stuff. But yeah, so that was his take on it, and I would tend to be leaning towards him. I think they do a little bit of damage, but I think we're focusing. If all our focus is on the buzzard, I just think we're missing all the bigger stuff.
Yeah,
the decimation of the hedgerows, the crop, the expansion of the crop fields right to the ditches. You know, there's no headlands now. You know, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
so I just think we're focused on that. But yeah, getting back, I think they're the big ones: the pine marten, the greys, the mags.
Yeah,
the
fox.
And the fox, yeah,
100%, yeah.
Your club, what do you do? Greys and mags?
Yeah, we usually set up our traps and stuff. Yeah, we do. Yeah, 100%. You have to be on top of it as much as you can. It's a devil as well, because we noticed, like in our club with the greys, man, when we start putting out the feeders, like they'll zone in on them. They'll zone in on them, you know. So you have to try and keep the numbers down in there. But look, I think our biggest issue in our club anyway is the pine marten will mow a lot of them, and then foxes. Like, you know, despite all the hunting we do, and it's funny, like we go in swings, you know, flat out at foxes one day, then no one does that for 2 or 3 months, and they come back in and stuff. So I don't know if you have seen it. Like, we would usually see, like, after we would let out or release our birds for the first week or two anyway, you'd be every time you'd be walking down some area at some stage, you will come across a carcass of a bird that's been got by a fox. You know? Not a carcass, but you'll see the
feathers and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so
yeah, I think that's commonplace. Look at the best way is obviously nighttime lamping. There is traps now available for, and I think the guys in Leinster Products, Lakeside Products. Yeah, Leinster Products, Lakeside Products. Have some traps. Yeah. And look, I have some of their Larson traps.
Yes.
Very, very robust, very sturdy. And yeah, like do you have a ladder trap in your club?
Yes, we do. Yeah. We do. I actually don't know where it is at the minute. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
We have one very successful. A little tip, I suppose, just on that for people who are maybe getting into the vermin. So I think the easiest place to start is at your mags and your greys. So if you're not, you know, if you're not hugely experienced with lamping and foxing and stuff, a simple thing you can do. Obviously, you have to look within the derogations and stuff like that. Just make sure you're abiding by them,
because it fucking changes so often. Yeah.
So if they are causing huge issues, ladder traps. But I would start with the smaller Larson traps. Normally come in the circular or the square, and you need a collar bird. Yeah, the handiest way to get a collar bird. I know we've a clam trap coming. Yeah, which is essentially, as the name suggests, it's a clam.
It's a humane trap. Yeah,
and it snaps when they come into land. So, but a nice little trick is. And I've seen this going back years ago of an old English kind of documentary where a lad used to basically make up a little kind of moss nest, a mock moss nest. Okay. And you can keep your eggshells from the breakfast and turn them upside down, so it makes, you know, it look like 3 little eggs in a nest. Okay. And then you put that in your trap. and they won't be long about seeing.
Yeah, my God,
little
that's a
nest,
good idea. I've never seen that. That's
and,
good.
and perch it over beside a little hedgerow where you've once you've that one, what we do is then we just swap. So I'll swap with one of the other guys.
Yeah.
They are territorial, as people know. So as soon as one comes in, especially in from kind of March onwards, I think.
Yeah.
If you bring in a kind of a stray magpie, a collar bird, within a few minutes,
They'll come.
the others will be down.
Yeah. Who the fuck's
Get out
that?
here.
Yeah.
You're after my Mary.
I'll go in and fight you. I'll
Yeah,
fight you up.
get out. So what they'll do is they'll come in. Your collar bird's in the middle, and they'll come in to try and extract them or push them out, and then the door's shut, and you then have
You build up your stocks.
you build up your stocks that way.
Interesting thing to note about larceny traps and stuff. Legally, from a kind of a legal point of view, your collar bird has to have certain things. It has to have shelter.
Shelter, yep.
Has to have food and water. Yeah, so that's just another thing. Because there is wildlife rangers out there and going around and checking all these things, believe it or believe it not. So have yourself covered and make sure that.
And look, I've been victim to this one where people have let out my collar bird.
Yeah.
I moved down into my lane, 2010, I think. There wasn't a little, and I'm not over exaggerating this. It wasn't a little bird to be seen,
Yeah.
And you've seen my garden. It's just a haven for small birds now.
Yeah.
Songbirds and blackbirds, thrushes, and I've all kinds of trees and bushes and stuff. But it's a haven. It's just an absolute haven, and that's predominantly down to the vermin control we do there.
Brilliant.
The greys I find are a huge problem now. As I said, I couldn't get the video of it, but I did see when I had a mate who had a grey. Are you seen the video?
I did, man. The one that was mowing the window out.
Mowing the window out.
Yeah.
And it took me, nearly 2 months to get that fella. And we tried everything. We tried the big ladder trap. The ladder trap is very, very good if and I was talking to Shane O'Neill during the week, and similar good little tip for the ladder trap for people who don't know it. Big kind of square box with kind of like a V, with an opening in the center. About 4 or 5 inches down along the center, and the idea being you have either a collar bird or your bait inside in the trap. The bird gets down, gets into it, but goes to spread its wings to get out and can't. But what we've noticed is they're very, very smart. I had to put 2 little kind of runners further down because the feckers were climbing up along the side and pulling themselves out. So you'd lose the odd one. And once one found a way out, they all copied. So we had to put 2 little 2x1s on edge, just on the inside line. We'll put up a picture of that anyway.
Yeah.
But what we do is the 2 top hatches, the 2 top, we have ours removable, so we just throw them off and you bait it for a while. Just throw a bit of feed into it, a bit of Shane was saying, bones from the butchers or any old kind of waste meat and stuff, throw it in there, and let them feed it for a couple of days, a week.
Yep.
Then put on your two lids, and they'll continue to feed, but won't be able to get back out.
Yeah.
And then obviously you can continue to feed and so on. But I think there's huge numbers of greys around this year as well.
Yeah.
Huge numbers.
Massive amounts of them. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So it needs to be kept on top of. And they're very, very damaging towards, ground nesting or hedge nesting birds. So it's not just for the pheasants. It's they're hugely damaging for any of the small songbirds.
And livestock.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We all
definitely need to cut down the fucking numbers on this. It should just be like an open. It should just be an all year thing. Just
it's madness.
Absolutely.
It's madness.
Yeah. Is there any benefits to a grey crow?
Well, like they do clean up the kind of the dead meats and stuff,
I suppose, yeah.
So your road kills, anything that dies, if a badger dies in the wild or a fox dies in the wild or a deer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They come out and take care of the...
Yeah, but I could argue flies and do it probably just as...
Yeah, they probably do it a little bit quicker, and then obviously then you don't have... Say, for instance, you're up in Wicklow and stuff... the deer dies beside a water source or something.
I suppose. Yeah. Cleans it up a bit quicker.
Cleans it up a little bit quicker.
Yeah. Speaking of up there, man, did you ever see the ravens up around parts of Wicklow at the minute?
Unbelievable.
Unhuman, man.
Yeah,
The
unbelievable.
size of them are unreal.
Look
The
at
amount of them.
the huge picking up there, you know.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
can imagine from all the live deer you see up there, you can imagine what's breaking legs and getting caught, and
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
absolutely.
And old age, etc., etc. So like, there's a lot of cleaning up to be done.
Yeah.
So yeah, look at, I think that'd be if for people who are starting their, because there's a few people actually messaging about starting clubs during the week. I think that's the place to start is smaller larson traps. You can go on. Lakeside will have huge range there, starting from small to big, and very robust, very very kind of. You're going to get a good spin out of them, and very easy to set. So,
absolutely, yeah, definitely, yeah. And you don't need to traipse 5 mile down into a field to set up, like, you know what I mean? No, definitely, no.
Just make sure you're, as I said, abiding by all the derogations.
Yeah,
et cetera.
exactly. Do your research. You don't want to land yourself in hot water. You know, as tempted you be, do your research. Make sure everything is right, and you have all.
Do you do much mink trapping around yours?
We don't really get much mink now, to be honest with you. We haven't, like, we have water, but we don't have really much fresh water sources. Yeah, up around it. We have got 1 or 2, I think, in the past, probably decades, so not a whole pile of them, man.
Yeah.
Fox is our big one, is the one we would probably, and as regards vermin control, would be the one I would do most of, would be more, kind of more familiar with, I suppose. But we do set them. We have mink traps, and we set them. We have one, again, by the infamous pen that the Pine Martin got in. We have one river that flows by it, and it's probably the one place that we have caught them. So it's so we've used Lakeside's mink traps as well. Yeah.
And I think what our club catches probably about 3-4 a year.
Yeah.
Kind of regular.
Yes.
You know, not much more, not much less. But kind of, as soon as you kind of clear one, I don't know whether they're territorial or not.
I don't know that.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they have in a litter, you know.
And if you got, I suppose, the black water is kind of through your club, and you have
Blackwater runs right through our water.
Yeah. So
and then we've little tributaries of the Blackwater as well that come into it.
Yeah.
So we have, and actually one of our pens is not too far away from that. So, but again, to try and eliminate, we've a 3-strand electric fence all the way around the perimeter, and a good little tip that Shane actually passed on for just with the upcoming what we're talking about tonight. He throws 2 guinea fowl in with his pheasants.
Okay.
He said because a guinea fowl will fucking roar and shout at somebody sneezing. They'll start cackling like fuck.
No way.
And what it does is 2 things. It'll get kind of the actual vermin that's coming a little bit nervous. A little bit on and then also it will get the pheasants that's in the pen
rolled up.
You know, because pheasants, as everyone knows, as to spend, as Shane will attest, to spend the first half of their lives trying to die. And your job is trying to keep them alive. So they will pass no remarks on somebody dancing on top of when they're in the pens. And what the guinea fowl will do is he'll start cackling, so they'll all get their heads up, and now they're alert. Yeah. So when them pheasants go out into the wild, then they're a little bit more alert to dangerous.
Okay, that's a good one. I've never heard of anyone
so
doing
there
it
you
before.
go.
So there you go. You hear people, we've spoke about before, turn on radios, have a little battery pack radio or a little plug-in radio or something, and keeping the radio going.
Yeah,
round the clock, and it just kind of deters them a little bit, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
that's another little tip. Yeah. So there's loads of little tips there, and I think the biggest, as you said, the little radio keeps is supposed to work very well with the Pine Martin. Yeah. If anyone else has any tips in terms of Pine Martin control or diversion, let us know.
Definitely. Yeah.
But they're
here's an interesting one for you, and they do it around my club, and I'm not like, I think it's kind of an unusual probably way of doing it. Setting fox traps. They set them and bait them around the pen. But is that not drawing them in?
Yeah, I've had this kind of...
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'd be thinking, you know, they're getting such a strong smell and you're drawing them to it. And if they're struggling with that and then they see an opening, you're bringing them in. So you're not better off just actually trying to pull them away from that and then catch them on top of it, you know.
We don't do any of the fox trapping beside the pens. But we do have a couple of the mink traps set around the pens.
Yeah.
And that obviously then that has its own smell.
Yeah.
Peanut butter, I think, was a big seems to be a tasty treat for the mink.
Yeah.
And look, we've tried everything from bit of old fish. I brought the fish heads home from Galway, and
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
on that.
Just on the mink as well, it's funny. Like when I remember the last time we got the Vermin count sheet when we were at the NARGC meeting that time, I think out of 26 clubs. Like you look at greys and magpies, foxes, squirrels, minks. Man, honestly, I'd say between all 26, I wouldn't say there was 10 guys.
Yeah.
Very, very low on numbers in comparison to the foxes and stuff like that.
And I know huge work is done up around Lucan and stuff like that with trapping of mink.
Yeah.
Because obviously they're catching the salmon. But I think they've nearly, when they started trapping up there, they had huge numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And now they have it down to 3 or 4,
Okay.
So yeah, huge work being done up there. But I think that just shows, I think for animal lovers or we're all animal lovers, but you know what I'm saying, for people against hunting and stuff like that, mink are obviously not a native species. They got out and they quite quickly they're hugely predatorial, and they're really effective snipers.
Absolutely, they adapted fairly quickly, fairly easily. Yeah,
it's kind of like it's like you look at a Sika deer and you're sort of saying, how is this oriental looking animal? But you would almost, if you could have picked a place,
ideal.
Jesus,
you know what I'm saying? Absolutely,
the hills of Wicklow,
the hills of Wicklow, evergreen trees, dense forest, wet, rough ground,
gorse, and so similar to the mink, we've kind of farmland abutting lovely streams and rivers and wetlands, and
plenty of fish stocks,
plenty of fresh water, and abutting lovely farms with hens and chickens, and
absolutely,
you know what I mean?
110%.
So, he couldn't have picked a better what would you say, spot for them.
Absolutely, 100%. Foxing, what like, I suppose people getting in, I think foxing will be in a lot of ways an easier type of vermin to control for a lot of people, as regards you don't necessarily have to be going out and setting traps and hiking and in and out and feeding them and checking them and the whole job lot. And many times you went to a trap and next thing it'd be down but there'd be nothing in it and stuff. But I think foxing is it's a huge fucking issue. And I think any like newer people, as we've spoken about numerous times at this stage in this podcast, if you're starting up your club, like before you start going investing in a load of birds and pens and the whole lot, you need to get your fucking fox numbers down
under control.
Absolutely, without a shadow. And I guarantee if you go into a new area of ground, new gun club, it doesn't matter where it is, there's going to be plenty of foxes in it, and you slap a pen in there and maybe 50 or 60 pheasants, you're going to get a whole lot more foxes into it. So
I seen between somewhere, because I didn't know whether 2 of them were the same, but I seen between 5 and 7 foxes just on the way out this morning.
There you go.
So, and like that's just the ones you can see, and and that's at from 6 o'clock on. And we predominantly go at night time, where it's alive, but that was in the morning. And the thing about it is, that's a very good way for if somebody's thinking about setting up their own gun club in their own, or re-establishing a gun club that's probably that's not been effective or in effect for a couple of years. Because we got a few messages from people like that. This is a very good way, because farmers, have problems with foxes and vermin.
Yes.
So if you're going to be asking them to be setting up on their land, well then this is your contribution to them.
Yeah.
We'll control your vermin. Put your land in the gun club, among the other benefits, and that way then you start to control your vermin, which is a safe place for your birds to be, and you're building your relationship with the farmer.
And
I think we all need to remember that as well, especially I'm talking to our own club as well. Like we members who forget, that pheasant season is not just 1st of November.
Interesting you said. I was just talking to a fellow today actually just about that thing about the gun clubs and stuff like that and members, and we were talking about different insurances, different people you can go to. And I've mentioned briefly in a half-drunken state last week that my plan going forward for next year is I'm going to be stepping away from the gun club that I'm in now. Honestly, purely just down to probably geographical location of it. It's just too tricky with me, with my line of work. Getting out there in the evenings to check birds and, even on weekends and stuff like that. And then it's just a lot to take on, and we don't have the help. We don't have the support. There's only 2 or 3 lads in it that do that. And then, you're expected to pick up the load then from the rest.
Yeah.
And look, that's just the way it is. And I've always said it was always a dream of mine to set up what would be known as a Broadford Gun Club. Game and Conservation Club. There's never been one here. And I've spoken to generations and generations of men from the area that have hunted and shot pheasants all around. So it's just a little thing I would love to do, and where myself and Brian Murphy have talked, and we're going to sit down and we're going to bring hopefully everybody here, all the listeners, on the journey with us from setting up the club, getting our insurances. We're going to hold a meeting locally here and get people. We want local people from the area that are interested in that, do a bit of hunting. Yeah, but we want lads that are going to be proactive.
Yeah.
Why do we want locals? Nothing against that from people outside it, but there's no point in taking on a lad, say, from anywhere. It could be anywhere. A lad from Longford saying, think about this now. Are you going to commit to coming up here one evening a week, checking pheasants in the rain, the wet, the shade, the whole job lot, working bees? So, there's an awful lot more to a gun club than just going out and shooting. Yeah. So,
and look, that's a very good look at from one element, from the vermin control to starting the club, because as I said, we have had people, and we've had just one this week even. How does he go about joining the NARGC, the gun club, and so on? And we're trying to encourage new clubs started up. So why not? This is a very good opportunity. Get your Vermin Act. All you need is your couple of farmers, get them started and build a rapport, and then you'll start branching out. Them farmers know that you're a good ethical hunter, safe around livestock, and you don't close gates, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and you're keeping the vermin. They know that come lambing season, you won't feel that coming up now.
No.
You need to start preparing for that now.
Yep.
Building your relationships now. No point in going out and first of March and saying, "Here, can we shoot your land?" And the farmer's up to his eyeballs. Lambing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
say, come back after. I don't have even time to talk to you.
Yeah.
Set it up now. Go out and say, "Look, we'll start taking care of your foxes now." And that way, then, as it comes into the lambing season, you're managing them.
Yeah.
And that, but you need to have your ducks in a row. So and then what you're saying there is, I was just thinking there, I just passed the church and the school and stuff. There's probably a newsletter there. Maybe get the community on board and say, look, a meeting in the pub there. Friday week or whatever, and get the farmers and
absolutely, definitely. I think that we've some farmers. I think it's another good little thing to work up there, that there is some projects and some funding available and different schemes and stuff that farmers can get in on. They can, and it can benefit both. So you could work in partnership with a farmer and say, look, here's something. Did you ever look at this? We might be able to help you out on this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Turning one area of
wasteland, there wasn't, into a bit of game crop, and get a few bob for it,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So look, that's just another little thing. As I say, we've been working on it now. Is vermin. Before we set up the club, we have been, we for years we've been wiping foxes out here and keeping numbers down. The numbers are there; they're always going to be there, but they're certainly an awful lot less than what
would have been.
And we're just going to keep chipping away on that. By doing that, we've built up a good rapport with a lot of farmers. I'm from here anyway. I know them, most of them all my life. But it's just going to be a little interesting thing if people can check in on through the podcast. It's kind of going to be starting now, early doors. We won't be shooting any pheasants in it this year, but if we can get the ball rolling and get a plan together, and hopefully in the not too distant future, you might see some Broadford Game and Conservation Club
good stuff
signs around the
so
place.
You're hoping 2024 you want to get you've a bit of
definitely we want to get going
skates on.
Absolutely, man, 100%.
Good stuff.
Another little thing on foxes there, we have used a couple of times. Some people use it. It's tricky. You can have like a sort of a bait tube where you can, have an area designated for food. Yeah, and you'll kind of bring the foxes to you, I suppose. It's a lot of people do it.
Yeah, and the smell pipe.
Smell pipe, yeah. Sorry,
drill,
that's a bit of a 4-inch kind of a sewage pipe.
Drill a few
and
holes.
Then drill a few holes and push your food into that, and that'll sure as eggs. That'll bring them out. Don't make it too easy for them to
pull it out.
To pull it out.
Let them. They can have to kind of work to get at it.
Yeah.
And then obviously as the meat disintegrates, it gets nice and wafty for them and brings them over.
Get a right good smell.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's another little thing you can do. Another thing you can do. Just on the traps and stuff, obviously Lakeland products.
Lakeside.
Or Lakeside. No, Lakeland. Lakeland products, yeah, it is. Lakeland products.
Is it, yeah?
Have been on, yeah. Lakeland products, yeah.
I've been calling them Lakeside.
Lakeside, no, I keep getting them wrong. I know, I'm pretty 99.9% certain it is Lakeland products. They have kind of gotten in contact with us, and they are doing a bit of a promotional thing for the whole month of December. And basically, anyone...
Lakeside, buddy.
Is it Lakeside? How did I get that wrong?
And I told you that today as well.
Did you, man?
Yeah.
Sorry, Lakeside products. I was fully sure it was Lakeland, man.
Yeah, Lakeside products, yeah.
Lakeside products. They're on Facebook.
Well, you remember them now.
You'll definitely remember them now. Lakeside products. They're on Facebook. They've got their own Facebook page, I think, haven't they?
They have Instagram page as well.
Instagram page as well.
A lovely picture of the bowel mink, I think, up on the top of it there.
Very good. So yeah, as I said, they are doing a promotional thing for the month of December, and that is that if anyone that orders any trap of any description from the lads will be entered into a draw to win a Larson trap and a mink trap. A nice little combination.
Absolutely,
brilliant. To get worth probably, I don't know what it'd be worth. Probably close on €200, I'd imagine.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So yeah, that's any trap. Anyone that places an order. So now will be the time. Well, from December onwards. So think about it. Put a bit of time into it.
Start planning. Now is the time to start planning. And have a look at the guys' website there or their Instagram and Facebook. Give them a follow and a share, and keep in touch, because they'll have some promotional stuff like that as well ongoing.
Yeah,
they're a big supporter of the podcast. They gave us traps last year.
Yeah,
we have traps ourselves from them.
Absolutely.
Very well made.
Yeah, we've given some away and some price and stuff. Very, very, very well made. Now, in fairness to them, the attention to detail is in them. We could talk all day about it, and you'll think, oh, we're just trying to promote them. You'll see for yourself. When you get one, you'll say, fucking hell, they are well made.
Well, here's the other side, right? I've bought some off the internet. They're flat pack, and you have to fucking make them yourself.
Yeah.
Just do yourself a favour, man.
Oh, man. With that shitty kind of plastic coat, that the first bit of rain that comes, it's just a rust.
And then there's spikes sticking out of the top, and you end up with... Anyway, look it.
Yeah.
Do yourself a favour. Ready-made trap. Buy that thing. The boys will deliver it there.
Boys will deliver it, and then you'll be entered into a trap into a draw for a nice little large trap and stuff like that as well.
And if you are in the NARGC, and I know we're not fucking spokespeople, but there is a little bit of a claim back on the Vermin traps as well. So make sure and keep your receipts for that, and then you can claim back a few bob off the Vermin traps.
Sounds like a fucking plan, man. Come here. Will we do it?
Let's do it.
And now it's time for a little thing we like to call Let's Talk Gear. And we're back, lad.
And we're back.
And we're fucking back. Back bigger.
And you have the machine in hand.
We sure do.
You look like you're fucking a man there, ready to rock.
Ready to rock and roll, yeah. So for those that can't see this, because we're not on live video yet, but we will be, I am holding the Howa 1500 superlite. Yeah, man.
She's a lovely looking machine, Bernie.
She is, man. I like it. I do like it. There's no point in saying it. It took a bit of getting used to. For those that I've probably said this story a couple of times at this stage, but I was in the market looking for a new rifle, wasn't sure what to get, and the one downside to the last Howa that I had was the weight. But you've seen it.
Oh, she was like a fucking
an army tank. Ross is the new proud owner, but now so, but he needs a workout anyway.
Well, absolutely,
welcome,
absolutely.
So I was just down actually with Dom down in Highland Outdoors, and I don't know if I actually went down specifically to look at this, but I was telling him that I've been looking at a couple of rifles, and he said to me, and I says, he says, what did you like about the Howa? And I says, no, the Howa was brilliant. I says, I shot well with it, not a bother with it, just it was heavy, very, very heavy. And he kind of grinned and he says, wait till you see this. Yeah. And
he ain't lying.
No, he put this in my arm, and I was just like, is this actually a real? Does this gun work? Like,
Yeah.
and I think that might have been the 308. But so I love it. Look, a couple of things about it. I suppose just going through some of the specs on it. When we say light, we mean light. 4 pounds 7 ounces.
She's as light as you can get.
As light as you get. It's available in 6.5 Creedmoor, which is what this one is, and 308. 20-inch blue barrel, threaded and suppressor ready.
Yeah.
So
they all come threaded as standard.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Flush detachable mag, which I love. I do love that on it. I've seen some other ones, and I like that it's flush. It just works well with it and stuff. Stockies, stock and a limb saver. A couple of things, I suppose, if you go into the finer details of it, there's toolless fire and pin removal, machined receiver and forged bolts, large internal front bar lug. An interesting thing about this one, the action on this is unique as far as I'm aware to this rifle. So it's it's in between the Howa's short action and middle range action. It's in between that, so it's kind of unique to that
rifle.
To that rifle, yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
And again, that's obviously probably a kind of a weight measure as well.
Absolutely.
Everything's done to conserve the extra couple of grams.
The whole idea, everything considered, was to keep this as light as possible. As it possibly
and they did that job anyway.
They definitely did that job. So yeah, look at it. It has the M16 styled extractor and bolt faces and all through square to the chamber. Look at, is it the best rifle in the world? No. Straight up, it's not. I'm sure there's not. I don't think Howa themselves will tell you that it's not.
Yeah.
It's not claiming to be the best, probably most accurate rifle in the world. For what I'm doing, it's absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
I don't do long distance shooting with it. I don't do target shooting with it.
Yeah.
I throw it on my shoulder and I head off hiking for fucking hours on end and to get it here.
Yeah. Look, you when you set out on your mission at the start of the season, it was to get them to get a lighter rifle. And by Jesus, you did that.
Yeah.
And something that's easily transported in the kind of rough terrain that we'd be trekking. And yeah, it's as comfortable a rifle as you're going to have on your shoulder.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely, yeah. I like. There's two different names. This I'm not entirely sure. There's a couple of different styles of stocks you can get, and this one is kind of a camouflage kind of. I don't know how to even describe it. Stock, of course, is carbon fiber. Again,
kind of like a digital camo, is it? Like
pixelated kind of a camo. It comes another one that's like a kind of a bluey grey fleck through the carbon fiber.
Yeah,
you may have seen as well, but it's on their website and stuff as well. So yeah, I like it. 3-position or 2-position safety, I suppose.
Yeah,
on it as well. You can adjust the trigger on it. What else really? It's look, it does exactly what it fucking says on the tin. And
what are the negatives on it, Bernie? If you could, not negatives, but what would you in the morning? Blank canvas, knowing the gun now, after using all that kind of stuff.
I think probably with the 20-inch barrel, kind of. Now I've had no issues with that, and looking at that, and I've fired that, I've hit.
Yeah,
I haven't had an issue with accuracy. Probably reading into it too much. I probably would have liked the 24-inch.
Yeah,
probably barrel on it, just to get that.
Yeah,
probably
considering you have a little bit of scope with the weight.
Yeah,
to probably push the barrel's length a little bit longer. I think would be there.
You definitely, you probably could. Aside from that, man, there's not really a whole lot. Like, am I going to have this right forever? No, I won't. And that's probably not down to that there's an issue with the rifle at all. There isn't. But like in the game we're at, we will be changing our gear. So
yeah.
I probably will maybe look at, there's a couple of nice Christensen arms and stuff. I really, really do like this rifle. Ideally, I would love to keep this rifle and, extend my range.
Yeah.
But it's just tricky at the minute. But price range, I think they're around €1,600 thereabouts, which is not bad. Like in fairness, for
a new rifle,
for a new rifle, and for carbon fiber stock and stuff. I like the action on it. I like the trigger on it. I didn't have to modify it really much at all. I didn't have to put that. You could put TrueTech triggers and all that sort of jazz in if you wanted to. I didn't. I like it. It works well with me.
You have a few nice little. You have the Picatinny rail for the
So when I got
bipod.
this first, I had the tier 1 bipod on it, and it was just permanently mounted. Didn't like that at all. So we put the Picatinny rail on it, so you can. It's quick release. It's on and off
Very
in
good.
2 seconds. When you're carrying the rifle on your shoulder, you don't want a bipod permanently. It's just uncomfortable, man. It's just not nice. So I put that on it. I've got the GPO, the 416x50i scope. This one is it has the built-in illuminated reticle on it as well.
Nice set of mounts as well. Brings the scope very, very close to the barrel, which is nice.
Yeah. They're set at tier 1 mounts.
Tier 1 mounts as well. Yeah, nice.
I have put on it the ZP1.
That's
which
a
is,
cool little trick.
Yeah, that is a deadly little thing, which is, I've seen it on the video there last night. So just one of those things when you are on your bipod that you can actually adjust the back end of the gun as well. So look what I do. I like
That's
that
really
as well.
cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, I do like that as well. Everything else, all things considered, it's a nice rifle.
It is, absolutely. It's a beautiful looking rifle.
Yeah.
Obviously I've never shot one, but yeah, look, she's knocking what you're putting it on, which is what you wanted for.
Yes.
And also it's the ease in and out of the field.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like I think a lot of the lightweight rifles now are with a view of the kind of the European style hunter. You know, we've a lot of rough terrain generally.
Yeah.
So it's to get you up and down mountains, hills, that kind of terrain, without having an army tank on your shoulder.
Yeah, I think the whole kind of thought process behind this one, and probably with a lot of super light rifles, is they're probably looking actually, probably maybe even a little bit more so to the American market, where a lot of bow hunters would have said that they would love a rifle that they could bring as a backup, that they're in a situation that they could use the rifle as well, you know. But 90% of rifles are too heavy to be looking around as well as your bow. So I think that was kind of one of the main thought processes behind
that rifle.
Rifle now, in fairness, you know. But yeah, look at it. I like it. 6.5 Creedmoor. I've no issues with it. As of yet, I've no issue. Is it the best round in the world? I don't think so. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, look, I'm my conclusion on it is not drawn yet, but I'm starting to make. Look, I've had the 6.5 55, and I would just notice it's just now. Look, I've to give it probably its best, because I'll talk about this morning. You know, I was out obviously this morning, and we've deer on the ground. However, similar to the last tag I shot,
I didn't even actually get to ask you this. Actually, I didn't. Yeah, I've been meaning to ask you this. Yeah, what was the story?
But yeah, it just ran a bit, you know. Again, so now look at, I've probably and this is my, you know, the round where I put it went where I put it. Yeah. So no issues there. It wasn't the best shot selection in the world. I'm starting to question, you know, because I had a neck shot available, but I put it in the engine room, as they say. So, and I'm getting a few runoffs, not runoffs, but runs because of that. Whereas last year, you know, I was with the 55. I was putting them in the neck, and I was dropping where to stand. So this morning I was kind of kicking myself, you know, I didn't put it in the neck, because I had at one point in time I had the opportunity to do that, but then my window changed, and I didn't wait for it to change back again, and so c'est la vie. But I don't know. I know from comparing it with, say, the 270. You know, one of my mates is shooting with the 270. You know, they ain't running as far, and they seem to have a little bit more stopping power. Yeah. That's my initial thoughts on it.
Yeah, I would second that to you. It's early doors yet. It is early doors yet. I'm not by any manner of means disappointed in it. I'm genuinely not. I think it has some serious stopping capabilities, a lot more than the 243 that I had anyway. Similar to yourself, I've shot with 270s a bit up and down. If this rifle was available in a 270, I'd be holding a 270 right now.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
Funny enough, I heard reports during the week that 270, the round itself is not as popular as one. And I would have noticed that. I've been in a few gun shops recently, and I'm just looking at the round selection. 6.5 Creedmoor is
well, there you
everywhere.
go. I mean, that like they're like, and not the only gun manufacturer going on that road. That's only available in 2 calibers and a 6.5 and a 308. Now they probably will bring it out.
Yeah, and the 308 and the 300 Win Mag. I'd seen loads of different fucking ammunition for them, but just the 270. So I don't know whether that is it because there's such a demand on it, or is it because they're not bringing? I don't know. But
I don't know.
People might fill us in on that.
Probably 270s are a lot bigger across the pond and stuff, really, aren't they?
Well, that could be the case. Yeah,
that and 30-06 and stuff. So, yeah, I'm just not 100% sold in 6.5. I'm not saying I don't like it. I would just like to see. I need to put a lot more rounds through this before I be going 6.5 is the round to go for. I've been told by numerous people that it is the best round. It's this, that, and the other, and it's the only round you ever need. And I'm not denying that, but I like a lot of things in life. You have to find these things out for yourself.
Yeah. Well, here I was just kicking myself this morning. That was just it. Like it just, fucking went left and then right like a greyhound, and all in all probably ran 150, maybe even a bit more. And like, I would like, there's your risk of losing the animal gets higher the more it runs and so on and so forth. Now I was kicking, like, again, I'm taking blame here. I should have took the neck, but I should be able to engine room shot. I know that's the debate, the biggest debate, necker or necker heart. Look, I just prefer it. When my next shot, that's where I'm going to try and put it, and then I'll be able to say, yeah, she's doing what
it's supposed
just,
to be doing.
building the confidence and going, it's new gun, new round, new.
I think it always be. Yeah, I think guns are unique in a lot of ways, that you'll always be the critique of it first. You're never going to buy a gun and straight away think this is brilliant, this is fantastic, this is everything I need to go. I think initially you're going to try and knock it. You're going to say, oh jeez, I'm not too sure about that now or that, because you kind of build up that you're a bit nervous about it. But look, I don't know. I that was another interesting thing. I got the deer that I got last week with it. As I said, I think it was. I know I didn't. I genuinely didn't have it. I was somewhere in the range of 100 and probably 50 to 60 yards, or maybe a little bit less even. But because I was under pressure with the podcast, actually a man below in Waterford, who we will be having on the podcast, done the butchering of the deer for me. And he sent me a couple of pictures and he says, where did you hit him? And I says, well, I hit him on the chest because he was front on.
Yeah.
I said, look, not ideal, I know, but I knew I had one chance and one chance only at getting this, and if he had a turn sideways, he was gone. Yeah. So he says, he says, a couple of damage done, he says, to the shoulder. So where it had come in front and straight out through the shoulder. Yeah. Didn't stop at the shoulder, it went right through. Yeah. So that was a new experience to me. Any time I've ever shot at with a 243, it never went through anyway.
And come here, what round are you putting in that?
6.5, the Noslers.
The Noslers,
140 grain.
140 grain,
yeah. Ballistic tip, yeah. Ballistic tip. So, I don't know. I would have thought ballistic tips would be doing probably more damage. I have to do a lot more playing around with this yet. Now, to be honest with you, to find around, is that the ideal round? To now it is, but again, as I spoke before in the podcast, I've probably put a box of rounds through it realistically since then.
Again, I'll probably play around, but that's the thing, I found the round for foxing, the Vermin seems to be the job. Super 90 grain Vermin, like perfect. And then I just need to probably play around a little bit more with the round. I might maybe drop down a little bit in grain, and get a little bit more velocity. Now, look, as I say, the velocity in these, we've put them through the chrono, and they're matching and now doing the 270. So the speed is there in the round. Yes. It's just whether or not there's enough oomph at the bottom of it. Yeah. So we'll look at time will tell, but we'll stay posted. We'll keep you posted.
Absolutely, 110%. Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah. So that's the Howa, that's the 1500, that's the superlite. That's all I can tell you about it.
Out of 10, Brenny.
Out of 10, I can't really knock it a whole pile, to be honest with you. There's a couple of little things, as I said, the bar. Look at that, so you can say that's not an issue. That's you bought it that way.
But as the gun that is sitting here, the gun that's one of the things you might tweak on it.
Yeah, I probably would look at tweaking it. I suppose if you are in the market for a superlite rifle for low cost or middle of the range cost for around the €1,600 to €2,000 mark, you'd probably be hard pressed to find a better one. I think, to be honest with you. So look, at marks out of 10, I'm going to give it 8.5 out of 10. To be honest with you,
spot on.
One or two little things that I don't particularly like, and again, I know it's down to safeguarding. Trigger guard, it's plastic. I'm not a huge lover of that, just the feel of it. It's just one of those things. I know it's weight saving and you can't have the best of both worlds, I suppose, but just for me, this is kind of the integral part of the gun, and I would like to have felt a bit of
metal there.
A bit of metal there now, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, all things considered, I think if you're looking for a lightweight,
she's nice,
affordable gun,
yeah.
You probably won't get a better one than that, I think, to be
Good
honest
stuff.
with you. Yeah. Again, I won't have it forever. There could be something different because I like changing guns, man.
You sure do, Brendan.
I've a shotgun on the way. I got my license in the other day now, so I will have my new Winchester under over now shortly.
Lovely job.
Yeah, so I'll have that. So yeah, that is the
job.
that, man. Come here. A couple of other things. Well, are you going to hold on to your gun? If I was to ask you this question right now, right?
Yep.
Off the bat of it, from what you've seen so far. Excuse me, now, will I put this down? Is that the gun for you? Are you going to be holding on to that gun?
I'll put it to you this way. So far, I love. There is very, very little that I would change about my gun.
Yeah.
I love the look, the feel, the weight, the balance, the action. I love everything about that.
Mm-hmm.
I do. The one conundrum at the minute is around, but I have a lot more playing around to do with that.
Yeah.
Before I make that decision, you know. Mm-hmm. As I say, I've only put one type of ammunition through it for deer.
Yeah.
And then I've completely went and fucking changed. Went against my kind of principles of the last couple of seasons and started to change. On top of the new scope and new glass and new everything, I changed shot selection. I'm
taking on too much, probably.
I'm second guessing stuff that, you know what I mean. You're trying to, you're overthinking a lot of things and then end up fucking making the wrong decision.
Wrong decision, yeah.
But like that. Look, I love the recoil. It's beautiful. It's just like there's no heavy recoil.
No.
I remember the 55. And you're doing where's that gone? Because you're trying to bring the fucking scope back down.
Yeah.
Whereas this one's lovely smooth. Not huge. Just I love it. The moderator, I'd probably look at maybe changing that. Maybe.
Yeah. That's not interrupting you, but that is actually something interesting. And I meant to actually ask you that when I was talking about that gun, was your moderator. When we went down and we spent the evening setting the rifles at them, you'll see it, because we're hoping to go next week. We're going to go somewhere probably local, and we are going to go down to Sligo, down to a gun range down there at some stage. But next week or type of time, so we are going to spend probably an afternoon next week setting zero on rifles with and without moderators and stuff. But moderators, I have the RCC, the M48 moderator on that. I am going to tell you straight to your face, it is about 50 times quieter than your one.
Okay.
That is no louder than the 1.7.
Yeah.
I was surprised with yours that time. I remember.
Were you?
Yeah. Oh Jesus, it was, man. Absolutely. Yeah.
Didn't find
and Rob's, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. Yeah. It's not that it's outrageously loud. It's not.
Yeah.
But in comparison to that one.
Very good.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting.
That'll be interesting now. Yeah. Look,
yeah. Now I know yours is a neater one. It's a more compact. It's lightweight. It's all about, mine is obviously a lot bigger and stuff. I can probably go the extra size because of saving on the rifle.
Yeah.
But because you haven't even really heard anything out of that. Have you seen that? You haven't.
I've heard you zero in that time. You took one or two on that, didn't you?
Might have had, did I?
Yeah.
Might have. I think I took one.
But look, we were flat to the mat that even.
Yeah, the pressure was on.
So yeah, didn't, and we didn't have them kind of side by side, one taken and another one. So we'll absolutely, that'd be actually interesting. That'd be interesting for the podcast.
Yeah,
discuss the different.
We have a yoke there. I can get a yoke for measuring.
Rob, I think, is a Houskin, and he swears by the Houskin, and I think that has the internal the internal wool or baffle.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
It'll be interesting to see.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 110%. That's another little thing just people should note as well, that like you have to remember, like with anything in life, if you might save on something, it'll be at the expense of something else, right? So when you're getting all a lightweight rifle and it's nice and small and compact and easy to use and blah blah and all that sort of stuff, then there is some other things you need to remember. She is jumpy, like because she's so lightweight.
Yeah.
You have to remember, it's not that there's a massive recoil, that there isn't, but you just have to remember, because it's light, you don't have all that weight forward of the chamber and stuff like that you just have to be.
And you're going to have that action of the barrel because it's lightweight and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So you're going to get that kind of extra little bit of movement, as to say.
Yeah.
But you can't have it.
You can't have it everywhere. No, you can't.
If you're a big old steel barrel, you get very little movement in the barrel.
Exactly.
A lot more accuracy, but you're going to have to fucking pay for it and carry it.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Absolutely, man, 100%. But look, that's her, man.
What's plans for the week?
Plans for this week are a few bits to do here. Might possibly get out Sunday morning. Big Mac is on to me about going. I promised him I'll bring him, and I just the past couple of times just with work and stuff hasn't worked out. So I might go Sunday morning, maybe.
Grant.
Not sure where yet. Genuinely not sure.
Cool.
What about yourself?
Similar to that, I might take a wander out Sunday morning. Now I've had a look at there's the freezer's full. A good friend of mine, David, I gave him. I actually helped him before I came out break down the deer just in quarters, and I skinned it. But I left him picking the meat off the bones for the burgers, and he's going to take he loves real organic meat. So yeah, he's gonna and he's mad to get into the whole butchering style. So we're butchering it Anthony Grogan style, which is not, obviously every butcher in the world is probably looking and saying that's not the correct way, but we know enough just to get him across the line in terms of a few roasts, a few steaks, bit of stew meat, bit of burger meat, and
lovely, yeah.
Yeah, so he's in the meat prep room there at the minute, butchering away.
Very good, man. Very good.
Funny enough, this is I said this before we came on.
Mm-hmm.
I had an absolute animal of a week, and I needed to get out of the house this morning. Did so, and I was saying to David, the aftercare of the animal, the whole breaking down and all that kind of stuff. I love, say, this time of the night, tipping on out and just tipping at that type,
Yeah.
Stick on a bit of music, you can fucking and there's something very therapeutic about it. Obviously, there's a holistic thing. You've harvested, you brought home, you've butchered, all that kind of stuff. But there's also just something just very, very methodical,
Yeah. I think it's a distraction as well as everything
else,
isn't
something different. It's something different, and you know what I mean. Me and you are both in. Yeah. Well, I know I'll speak from my own fucking industry, pretty heavy going. So it's nice to do something a little bit different. I'm sure the butchers in the world are saying, "What the fuck is doing this for?" But it's nice. It's nice because there's, and you're kind of learning as you go.
Yeah.
And
you have a much more better appreciation for the meat then as well, haven't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I actually went down probably the opposite route this week with the deer.
Yeah, no, you went to
It was the first one that I actually sent off, and Tom Stafford is this gentleman's name from down in Waterford, a genius, and definitely he's renowned around Ireland as for butchering and his skills, and he's a hunter himself and stuff. So I've just been under a bit of pressure. Well, it's not there was any more pressure, but I don't be here. I can be anywhere. So that just rules that how at the butcher, I can hang him for a few days in the larder, and then I need to get him butchered. So yeah, George brought him down for me, and I picked up the meat the other night, and one thing struck me straight away. Now that was, despite, it wasn't, as we spoke, it wasn't a huge big header, but it was a big animal. It was a big bodied sika. Tons of fat on him actually as well. But I went down and I picked up the meat, right? I've butchered deer here, and I didn't think I was wasting much at all. Man, I must have been wasting some shit. You'd want to see the
burgers.
Amount, not even burgers, man. The roast, the steaks, the peppered steaks, the work this man put into it is absolutely unbelievable.
His peppered steaks are just to die for.
Real peppered steaks, you know what I mean? They're absolutely delicious. So massive thanks to him. And excuse me, he wants to come on. We're going to have him maybe up in the game room.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
He'll break down and wait.
Break down, because it'd be like, will be the kind of, from my perspective anyway, my final kind of, I've been kind of learning as I go, and you're doing the different cuts and breaking down the backwater and so on, and then you're Googling in between. But I always find that that leaves me. Once somebody showed me and said, like, this is what I do here. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Yeah,
that's the way I'll do it. And then,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you'll remember it an awful lot more that way. But meat in the freezer, man. The pressure's off.
Absolutely, man.
Know?
Now you can just go and
wing it, enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the plan. That's the kind of the plan. That's what we're hoping.
Good stuff.
Hoping to do anyway. A couple of things before we do wrap it up. I just want to say, obviously with the shotgun being the Mossberg Maverick that I'm giving away.
Yes.
As I say, it's over in Kildare Hunting at the minute. It's over there with Neil. We've had a couple of messages in, a couple of people that be very, would be a willing candidate for it. Just in the interest of fairness, I'm going to leave it open until Friday night. So if there's anybody else out there that's, for whatever reason, is under a bit of pressure at the minute, would love a nice free gun handed to them, get in contact, give us a bit of a background, and then I will contact whoever's going to receive the gun on Saturday.
Brilliant stuff.
Then they can head over to.
So the winner will be announced this Saturday. So you'll be contacted by Saturday.
Be contacted by Saturday. Again, it'll be all. We won't be naming anyone. It'll be all hush behind the scenes. But yeah, anyone else.
That sounds like fucking very
sinister. Is it?
Sinister, yeah. He'll be giving you a gun and it'll be all hush. No, it won't be like that.
No.
It'll be.
No, you will have to go.
You have to go and get your license.
If you don't have a license, you'll have to do
just
all that.
We've clarified at the start of this podcast. We used to wing all this kind of stuff, and now it's getting a little bit more
serious.
official.
We need to,
so we have to be
disclaimer. You're not just being handed.
And we've all kinds of people listening to us, ready to.
Yes, exactly. No, if you qualify and you get your license and all that, then you'll have to go.
Which brings us into the last bit of the podcast, right? So, and that's the one element where the bit we try and give back, and we probably need a little bit of help on the other side. So, obviously, this whole setup takes a little bit of moving parts. So we have to pay for subscriptions and all that kind of stuff, and equipment and so on. And we do all this all of our own kind of, and we love doing it. However, we have started, and this is completely voluntary at the minute, and it's a subscription. A monthly subscription for anyone who wants to help support us. It's a kind of like the price of a cup and a half a copy.
Exactly. I wouldn't say you get 2 cups of coffee out of it. Exactly as you said.
Yeah, for a month, and the benefit of it is obviously if you sign up to that and you become an IHP member, we'll flick you on a little bumper sticker. And also you get 10% off your merchandise.
Yeah, exactly, 100%.
And that'll help us keep this show on the road, which is garnering more and more support, which we're very grateful. But it'd be under no pressure. But as I said, if anyone wants to keep listening and supporting, and who appreciate what we do, and wants to throw a couple of euros a month to us, just to keep the as I said, the wheels going, it would be greatly appreciated.
100%. We'll put up a link. We'll put up a link and a QR code on our socials. Again, I just reiterate what Anthony said. By no manner means compulsory, but if you like what we're doing and you want to help us continue doing what we're doing, we would sure shall appreciate.
Yeah,
a few bob a month goes a long way.
Absolutely, man.
Any other plans for the weekend? You going out for scoops at all, or pints, or?
Will I be going out for scoops? I don't think so, man. I think last weekend was a hectic week of birthday party on the Saturday night afterwards as well. So want to probably the usual kind of stuff. We have matches and stuff like that. So probably start winding down a little bit now. Get Friday even, get the fire lit, and maybe get a little bit of sushi or something tomorrow night and a glass of wine.
Nice. I had sushi yesterday.
Did you?
I did. Now, people, this is just as a weird thing, right? Like, there's fuck all places you can get sushi. Like, not like up around Dublin. If you go to
sushi,
good sushi, fuck all place. Right? Hear me out on this.
Go on.
I've seen it. Apple Green Services.
Oh, jeez.
No, hear me out on this. The Apple Green Services in Bird Hill in County Tipperary. They're the only ones I ever see to do it. They do one brand of it, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's all made in Ireland. You'd have to, honestly now, and I love sushi, man. I had it in Australia. I used to live off it.
Okay.
And
oh, look, I'll take your word.
yeah, so I actually got some yesterday. Like, and there's only 6 pieces in it. It's like €9. But it is absolutely good. A bit of soy sauce, man, and I had a bit of wasabi, and it was delicious.
Oh yeah. Do you like the pickled ginger?
Delicious.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't.
Depends on
lovely.
What we're having right now. To be honest with you, yeah.
What's your favourite one? What's the favourite sushi?
Oh man, I'm plain Jane, man. I actually like. Do you know the one to do? It's obviously it's like a chili with some. There's like crab meat and stuff like that.
The chili mayonnaise ones.
I fucking love that one. I love with a bit of like a smoked meat, a smoked salmon on it.
Yeah,
I need that, man. I love
tuna
it.
and avocado. Oh,
yeah, tuna and avocado. Yeah, I've had that. That's nice. Or even some of the little carrot sticks and stuff that they put in.
Yeah,
any of it. There's not much of that I don't like, to be perfectly honest with you.
I'm going to give a little shout out to I can't remember the name of the restaurant, but it's in Lucan there. No, sorry, Lucan. It's on Leakslip.
Okay,
Leakslip Village in the little shopping mall there. You know, up to. Oh, my wife's going to go. Anyway, it's up there. But they cook it fresh. So you can order on the phone and they'll tell you come in and collect it. Or you can pick your order time. And it will not be ready before that time.
Yeah.
And you can go in and my God, man.
Savage.
They do a mixed platter. If we do have people over a party or, for a night out and you don't want to cook for the night, get this kind of mixed platter in. It's like a boat of sushi.
Oh, you can't beat it, man. I love it. Oh, I love it. We used to live in Adelaide. We used to go to sushi train in Adelaide. You ever been to the sushi trains?
No.
Oh, yeah. It's delicious. You know the sushi train where it's literally going by on a... you sit on a table and you just pick off.
That train will be coming to a quick stop when it's going by me, man.
God,
I just
disconnected
put
the track.
my head onto the track.
Like
let them come in.
Like Homer Simpson with the donut machine.
Come to me, yeah. Yeah, that'll be fucking it.
Just throw it on in, yeah. But geez, hard a bit of sushi. A bit of fucking sushi,
yeah.
man. I'm just dreaming of creamy pints of Guinness, man. I am dreaming of them. I was working in Tipperary, again, as I say, last night, Limerick actually, and I was half thinking, will I stay down there? And I was thinking, oh man, if I stayed down, I could have a few pints. That was literally that.
So you go for a few this weekend?
I don't know. I'd love to, maybe. Yeah, I might try and win.
Be nice, that. Do you know, like tomorrow evening or Saturday evening?
I love Sunday pints.
Do you? Yeah.
I love Sunday pints. If I had to pick any time over the weekend to have pints, it would be a Sunday during the day or a Sunday early evening, maybe.
After Mass. You're right head of your outfit, sure.
down to the shop, get the Sunday paper,
the paper under the arm,
an old scratch card, and
get the bulletin out of Mass.
Sit down, a few pints, back a few horses. Jeez, you cannot pay it.
Give out about the weather.
Give out about the fucking weather. Just that's been all talk about weather, man. Like, no short places for ducks anyway. Jesus Christ.
Cold during the week, man. It's like 16, 17 degrees out there again.
Like,
what sort of...
I was telling you what happened to me last night. So I had a bastard of a day in work yesterday, right? Now, a bastard of a day, right? I have to stress the bastardness of this day, right? It
was a bad day, Brenny.
It was a bastard of a day, right? I was all set to have a grand handy day. I had a site I had to go to in Maynooth and set up a base station and do a localization. Handy out, walk around, measure a few pints. Lovely job, done. I had to go to the office first, collect the instrument, and then I was heading out to Maynooth. Oh, lovely, man. Had my whole day planned. I think, boom, like that. Phone rings, boom. I'm on the way to Limerick. I was actually supposed to go to Cork first. I was going to Castledownbare in Cork, and then that all changed, so then I was diverted to Limerick. So I worked all day in the rain, the whole fucking day in the rain. An awful job to get to this place, and they're building a new railway track now. Got there anyway, right? That was grand. Got machines up and running, got that end of it sorted. Now this got me till 6 o'clock yesterday evening. Was about to drive home. It's 2.5 hours drive home, and then the fella that owns the machine was on to me and he says, "Oh, by the way, one of the GPS cables there's on such thing. Would you have one?" I says, "Yeah, any chance you do it?" So I said, "I fucking don't believe this, man." Pisses her in. It was 6 o'clock yesterday evening. Pulled the whole thing apart, out with the cable, wrap it, put it back in, set it all up, make sure it was all working. I was about 1.5 kilometres in through a farmer's kind of a yard down to get to this railway, which is not even open yet. Like, you know what I mean? So then I decided to make my way back up. And so by the time I got halfway back up, the rain was that bad, man. It was just like, so next thing, what happened? Van stuck.
Oh.
I was honestly a good kilometre and a half, man, away. No one around.
That thing will get stuck in a Jesus puddle, man.
Fucking disaster, right? Stuck to the bollocks. And now we're about a kilometre and a half away. There was nobody there. Everyone was gone home. Sure, it was after 7, nearly 8 o'clock at this stage. Had to fucking hike back, get the track machine, track up the field. My van's automatic. Put it into neutral. Lucky enough, I had a fucking ratchet strap. Tow it out, just pull it out with the fucking track machine. Then I had to take down fencing post to drive the machine around the back because you couldn't fit the machine past the van. Do you know what I mean? To get in front of it.
Oh my god!
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet mother of Jesus, man! Did you ever see that episode of Homer Simpson in New York where he goes banana? I was like, my head, lad, was glowing with taking the last night coming out. She wasn't home till fucking, I don't know what time it was.
You do a turn for a lad and you get fucking punished for it.
Oh man, without a shadow of a doubt.
Look, the good thing about it is at least you were done down there. You didn't have to go back down. That's the other side.
And I got my sushi.
And you got your sushi. Every
cloud,
every storm cloud has a fucking a silver lining.
Honest to God, I better wrap this up. We're talking shit here.
Yeah.
Have a good week. If you're heading out, best of luck. Keep us posted. Be safe.
Stay hunting.
Happy hunting. And again, we will put our link for our anyone who wants a prescription, we'll put it on our socials.
Buy us a coffee and a half.
Coffee and a half. Exactly right. Again, jump on our Facebook, Instagrams, we're on YouTube. Give us a like and subscribe, and if you can, give us a rating on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
That just helps us.
Just helps us. Mass amount, it doesn't cost a cent. Have a good one.
Over and out.
Take it easy.